book of First Ezra chapter 1, starting at verse 50. It says, "Nevertheless, the power of the Father sent by his messenger to call them back, because he spared them at his tabernacle also. But they had his messengers in derision, and look, when the Lord spake unto them, they made a sport of his prophets."
Yeah, which means they made entertainment of it, man. You know, at least it's the same thing with these Jakes today, man. You know, they make entertainment of us out here on the highways and byways teaching, thinking that this thing is a joke. But only the men of the Lord are seeing the things that are heating up throughout the four corners of the earth, man. All right, the Lord is tightening this place up day by day. Day by day, something new is happening, so that entertainment is that everybody gets off of us, man. All right, it's going to come to a cease. And people going to know that what we out here teaching was wisdom, and that they should have grasped the wisdom that we were teaching about, You know? Can I brother jump to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20 for me, Baba Kushai? Is Simone that?
That was it to that. But to add to your point, because one thing we understand is that throughout history, before the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai would bring forth judgment, he would send forth his servants, the prophets, to
Mm-hmm.
warn his people, and ultimately that was the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shai showing mercy upon his people. See, so as the scriptures tell us, there is no new thing under the sun. So you had scoffers back then in past generations, and guess what? You have scoffers here today. You see? And once again, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is showing mercy to his people by having his man out there in the open on the highways and byways. But what is Jake doing? Making fun of the garments they wear, things of that nature, man. You know,
Con.
making fun of the doctrine that the men of the Lord is speaking, man. You see, which ultimately all these things that Jake is doing is
Rappers be
ultimately to
doing
their
all
own
that.
detriment, man.
Cuss me out.
You see?
Con.
But this is the book of Proverbs, the first chapter, starting at verse 20. It says, "Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets."
The wisdom is the spirit of the Lord, man. The scriptures. All right, that's what's being uttered in the streets. All right, go ahead.
It says, verse 21,
It hasn't been uttered, but it's being uttered as this brother was going into through the messages, through the prophets. Okay, go ahead, brother.
verse 21, "She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates in
In,
the city, she uttereth her words, saying."
in the chief place of concourse. All right, like when we go out and we teach, we're in the chief place of concourse where everybody pretty much is going to be. People are going to pass by. In the ancient days, it was considered like the opening of the gates or the marketplace. Middle of the city. That's what people would be, man. The marketplace is where everybody would go daily. Fresh fruit, fresh herbs, different things like that. That's where the prophets would be at. Go ahead.
In verse 22, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?"
Yeah, you simple ones, you ones who we were going into about the entertainment. How long will you people make sport of us, make fun of us, thinking it's all a game, man? All right, till you how about some shot comes, all right, destroy you people, man. That's why we don't get hung up on these things. All right, go ahead.
It says, "And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge."
Yeah, the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge. All right, these dudes love to get on these keyboards, and talk crap, you know. All right, and now people hate knowledge. Now people don't want to hear the scriptures. They don't want to hear you out about some other shine, man. At this point, it's just, what? It's just, the Israelites against the world right now, man. You know, they don't want to hear the doctrine of the Lord because it doesn't line up with their lifestyle, man. So, hey, with something it's against everything you've done forever. If you're not a part of the select, you're gonna bump up against it, man. You're gonna buck up. You're not gonna agree with it. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 23, "Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you."
Right, turn unto the Lord's reproof. He's gonna pour His Spirit unto you. He's gonna make known His words unto you. How you gonna do that? All right. Once again, there's those men being out there on the highways and byways, also with electrical pistols. You know, He said His words be known unto you, man. All right. He let the Spirit be poured out unto you. You know. So, uh, uh, something you mentioned earlier, brother, pull the scripture to what there's a little more on this one. Then we can come back to this. Where the Lord spoke about how His men will come out and preach up against many countries.
Jeremiah chapter 28, verses 7 and 8. It says, Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And that's what we're doing. All right, we're interacting with the prophets of old have done. All right, but y'all think that it's a joke nowadays, but we're just reenacting what our forefathers did. Okay, but y'all take it as a joke and think that everything is funny and nothing gonna happen. They be saying the Lord gonna come back since my grandma was alive. They were saying that, you know. But soon you'll see that happening. What's really coming? We are in those last evil days. All right, and when the Lord decides to take his man up off the street, you're going to be searching from west to north to east to south to try to obtain this truth, man. All right, that was it, brother.
Back to Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 24. It says, Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
The Lord is stretching out his hand right now. Stretching out his hand with what? With his men, the prophets, man. All right. And y'all, what do y'all do? Y'all not taking heed to it. Okay. Not at all. You know. Go ahead.
Verse 25, But ye have set at naught all my counsel.
Y'all don't want to hear the word of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Y'all will do your own thing. All right. Go ahead.
It says, And would none of my reproof.
And when we tell you that you're wrong and you're going off, Jake got what? Jake got an attitude. Jake think you're doing them wrong. All right. Go ahead.
Because Jake don't want
Yes,
to
sir.
Jake don't want to let go of the shit that they've been brought up in their whole life.
That's right.
The scriptures say what that there is a way we seem right unto it, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Yes, that's right,
See?
bro.
So ultimately, hey, for the majority of you Jake's lives, man, all right, y'all been brought up in the ways of death, man. We've all been brought up in the ways of death. All right, but ultimately we understand that the marvelous light of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is shining abroad, and ultimately, hey, the ways of life are being revealed unto you, man. But hey, as the scripture say, the book of Jeremiah 8 chapter, all right, it tells us that majority of Jake in these last days would rather choose death over life, man.
That's right.
You see, and we see that manifest by your deeds, right, your actions, the things you say, right.
God.
But going on in Proverbs 1 and 26, it says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
That's right. So when all hell is breaking loose in your life, man, and the Lord is going to be, we're going to be laughing. All right. We're already laughing. You know, we find a lot of judgment of the Lord, and we laughing at you people, man. All right, because we gave the warning, but you didn't want to hear it. All right, we piped. We said we were going to say we piped unto you, but you didn't want to dance. You know, we sung that beautiful song, "Be How About You, I'm Shine," but you ignored the words, man. All right, that's it on that.
A little bit more.
Okay.
It say verse 27, when your fear cometh as desolation,
Uh huh.
and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
Right. When your fear comes to desolation, which is just destruction, and listen, there's a whirlwind. All right. Go ahead.
It says when distress
And
and
anguish.
anguish cometh upon you.
Yeah. So you're gonna be all over the place, man. You ain't gonna know what's going on. All right. You're gonna be bugged out. You know, it's gonna be too much craziness going on, man. A lot of people are gonna go what they call mentally unstable in that day, man. You know.
Yep, the scripture wants men's hearts filled with fear.
Yeah.
So people gonna be literally having heart attacks, and at the same time just completely bugging out in their mind. See, because hey, like the scriptures talk about, we're coming to a time like never before. So a majority of the people on the face of the earth, man, they're not going to be able to fathom all the judgments and things going on at once, man.
Excuse me.
You know,
That's right.
it say verse 28. Then shall they call upon me, for I will not answer.
Hmm?
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
All right, you're gonna be looking for the Lord. You're gonna be calling upon Him. You're gonna be praying. All right, the Lord ain't gonna stop answering those prayers, man. All right, you searching for the man of the Lord. You're not gonna be able to find us. All right, they ain't gonna know what to do out here, man. You know.
Yeah, the scriptures say, he that turneth away his ear from the hearing of the law, even his
It's
prayer
perverted.
shall be an abomination.
That's right.
You see, so Jake is out here. Here it is, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has sent forth his servants, the prophets, to correct and reprove Jake, all right, before trouble hits. But what did Jake do? They turned their ear away, all right? They snatched the shoulder, like Zechariah the 7th chapter says. See, so all hell breaks loose, man. And the Lord is gonna bring all that shit Jake was doing back to their remembrance, man. See, and there's no amount of prayers, no amount of fasting that the wicked of our people can do to ultimately get out the judgment that the Lord is getting ready to bring upon them.
Okay.
It say verse 29, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord.
That's what it was. They hated knowledge for themselves, not to fear the Lord. So hey, the Lord, you're gonna fear Him. You're gonna fear Him sometime. All right, that fear is coming. All right,
And after that King
that's what that little
Nabuchodonosor had made him to
that
swear by
I'm sorry, brother.
it's all good, brother. That passive judgment is finna be over with, man. The Lord finna cast hard judgment, man, out here, man. All right, see, people gonna be scared, man. All right, get it together. Then another reason that y'all not gonna, another reason that you're not gonna hear you, because a lot of y'all don't know the actual true name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Y'all gonna be calling on the wrong name in that day.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna get destroyed because you want to continue to follow into this Christianity philosophy and think that that Christianity philosophy is going to be justifiable in that day when it's not. It's really going to be unto your destruction. Go ahead, brother.
Yep. It say verse 30. It says they were none of my counsel. They were none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. It says, therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For
Yeah.
the turn.
They don't want to hear the word of the Lord. All right. You got men we signed and crying into what? Jerusalem is made a power in the earth again, right? Is that what the scriptures say?
Yep. Scripture say, give him no
Give it
rest
no
till he make
rest.
Jerusalem to establish and make Jerusalem the praise in the earth.
That's what we're doing. God, the water for correcting me with the word. I knew it was power or praise, and that's what we're doing. So y'all don't want to hear y'all don't want to hear none of the counseling of the Lord. You got men every day pushing out videos. You got men doing all type of different things, man, on different levels in this truth. All right, you got some men who push out a video every day. It's not gonna be no excuse, and they push them out in different languages. All right, we got sign. All right, and every other language as well. So it's not gonna be an excuse in that day, man. Keep on taking what the prophets of the Lord say for a joke. Keep on taking the Lord's men for a joke and see what's gonna happen to you, man. We know what's gonna happen to you because we know what the scriptures are saying. So we're out blowing the trumpet right now, giving out the warning. But y'all don't want to take heed. You're gonna let the enemy come in and destroy you. Go ahead.
Because like with the opening scripture in First Ezra, the first chapter, it tells you what that they made a sport of the prophets, which ultimately to make sport of someone means what you making fun of someone.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
an example, all right, in the scriptures where yeah, Jake's making fun of the prophet. I believe it was Elijah in the no, wait, I think it was Elisha in the Second Kings, the second chapter. What did they say? They said, "Go up, thou bald head." And what happened was, Elisha cursed them in the name of the Lord, and guess what? All right, the bears came out and tore them alive, man. You
Mm-hmm.
see, so it just goes to show, the Lord, He don't play. All right, when you make sport His prophets, man, there comes a heavy judgment with that, man. You know, and what that proverb says, judgments are prepared for scorners and stripes for the back of fools.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
God, the Lord's judgment is going out heavy right now. All right, we see it in the midst of just with brothers and brothers around us. The Lord is the Lord is how can I say it? The Lord is accepting brothers' prayers and bringing judgment immediately, man.
mm-hmm.
You know.
It's time.
So hey, you better quit. You better what for every idle word, man must give account for thereof in the day of judgment, man. May it be good or evil. So you better be careful what you're doing when it comes to the man's Lord, the man of the Lord, man. All right. You got anything else, brother?
No, that's it, brother.
All right. So with that, we're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem of Karkadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and great millstones who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, brothers, pushing this truth week in, week out in sincerity, charity, and love, and the spirit of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. With that, shalom.
Shalom.